In the first episode of the Bình Phước Massacre series, one of the most horrifying cases in Vietnam's history, we revisit the murder of 6 family members in Bình Phước in 2015. The killer was not a stranger. He was once considered part of the victim's family. From a first glance came love. From sweetness and hope grew jealousy and resentment, and in the end, it turned into a plan for slaughter. What really happened? When a love ends, some choose to leave in silence, others cling to it with regret. But there are also those who choose to drag everyone down into the abyss with them.
Đêm đó bị cáo giết tất cả mấy người?
6 người.
Do bị cáo giết hay là ai?
Do bị cáo đâm.
July 7th, 2015, Minh Hưng Commune, Chon Tang District, Bình Phước Province, Vietnam. A rural land of rubber plantations, sawmills, and red dirt roads. But that morning, the entire region was shaken. 6 members of a family were brutally murdered. The list of victims: Lê Van My, 48, owner of a timber workshop and animal feed factory. Nguyen Lê Thi Ang Na, his wife. Lê Thi Ang Linh, 22, their eldest daughter. Lê Quoc Anh, 15, their son. Du Nogak To Nu, 18, a relative. Du Minh Vi, 14, a relative. Only one survived, an 18-month-old baby girl, the daughter of Ang Linh. The media would call it the Bình Phước Massacre. But before diving into the investigation, one crucial point must be emphasized. This crime was not born from money or robbery. It started with love. In those days of mourning, a young man was seen quietly attending the funeral. He lit incense, cried, and was even comforted by the victim's relatives. People affectionately called him the almost son-in-law. That man was Nguyen Khai Duong, 24 years old. He had once been the boyfriend of An Linh, the family's eldest daughter. No one suspected that the very person crying before the coffins was in fact the killer who had taken those 6 lives. The image would later be recalled again and again in the press. A murderer standing among the grieving, blending into the circle of sorrow he himself had created. And the haunting question remains: how could someone once in love become a sworn enemy? To understand, we must go back a few years. Nguyen Hai Duong was born in 1991 in An Giang Province. His family was poor. His parents divorced early, and he grew up lacking guidance. Later, he moved to Ho Chi Minh City to study and work. There he met Ang Linh, a girl from a well-off family, pretty, gentle, and academically stable. Their love began in high school and lasted for years. To their friends, they were a beautiful couple. Duong often drove Linh to school, took her out, and even visited her home. The My family knew him well. But young love rarely escapes conflict. Linh's family, especially her mother, Ang Ang, saw Duong as unstable, hot-tempered, and without a steady career. They disapproved. Coming from a wealthy family, they hoped Linh would choose a stronger, more established partner. In the end, Linh listened to her family and broke up with Duong. For most people, a breakup is an ending. For Duong, it was the beginning of a psychological downfall. After being rejected, he desperately tried to hold on, sending texts, making calls, even showing up at Lin's house, all to no avail. Lin was resolute. Disappointment turned to bitterness. With friends, Jung often complained of being looked down on, betrayed. His wounded pride grew heavier each day. In his mind, Lin's family were not just the reason for the breakup, they were the barrier that had destroyed his love. This distorted view turned pain into hatred. Instead of acceptance, John nurtured thoughts of revenge.
The most chilling part of this crime, it was not a spontaneous act. According to case files, Jung spent weeks preparing. He observed the family's routines, studied their house, and noted the layout of the bedrooms and gates. He bought knives, zip ties, gloves, masks. Everything was calculated. During this time, he persuaded two others, Tran Din Thoại and Vu Von Tien. Thoại initially agreed and even went with Jung to the family's gate, but when his wife called, urging him home, he withdrew. Tien, however, stayed, a close friend of Jung's, gentle and easily influenced. Jung told him it was just a burglary, no harm intended. Tien agreed. This would later spark debates. Was Tien an unwilling accomplice or complicit by silence? Either way, his choice bound him to an irreversible tragedy.
July 7th, 2 a.m. Zhuang and Tien climbed the fence, carrying weapons. The first person they encountered was Dumin V, 14, sleeping near the gate. He was killed immediately to silence him. Step by step, they entered the house. One by one, the family members were tied up and subdued. Within hours, 6 lives were taken. Some pleaded, some screamed, but the killers showed no mercy. Ang Lin, once the girl Zhuang loved, watched as her parents, brother, and relatives fell. Finally, she too was murdered. Strangely, the 18-month-old baby girl was spared. Zhuang said, "She's Lin's child. I can't." A twisted form of mercy, proof that remnants of his love remained, but warped into something monstrous. After the killings, Zhuang and Tien stole some belongings and phones, then fled. In the following days, Jung played the role of an innocent mourner. He attended the funeral, wept, posted tributes on social media. To outsiders, nothing seemed suspicious. But truth cannot stay hidden. Within days, investigators uncovered the first clues. The circle of suspicion narrowed, tightening around Nguyễn Hải Dương. Psychologists stress, Jung did not kill for money. The stolen items were secondary. The true motive was emotional vengeance. In criminal psychology, this is classified as murder driven by wounded pride and rejection. Such individuals often have impulsive personalities, poor emotional control, and see love as possession. When rejected, they convert love into hatred, seeking to annihilate not just the loved one, but everything associated with them. Jung's case shows how immature love, combined with lack of family guidance, can ignite into tragedy. We have retraced the journey from young love to simmering hatred to the plan and the night that stole 6 lives in Bình Phước. It all began with love, but ended in blood and tears. In Episode 2, we will follow the investigators. What clues did they pursue? Why did they rule out a simple robbery? And how was the truth finally uncovered beneath layers of lies? Stay with us.
Bị cáo với Lê Thiện Linh có quan hệ tình cảm từ lúc tháng 10 2013 thì đến tháng 3 2015 thì Linh chấm dứt quan hệ tình cảm với bị cáo. Thì bị cáo nảy sinh ý định giết gia đình của Linh do bị cáo thù tức gia đình bà Nga. Bị cáo mua các hung khí.
Hung khí là gồm những cái gì?
Một cây súng bắn bi sắt, một con dao bấm, một cây súng điện và khoảng 10 sợi dây gút và một sợi dây vải. Bị cáo đem để trong ba lô. Bị cáo đầu tiên bị cáo rủ Trần Đình Thoại đi gây án. Sau khi gây án không được thì bị cáo rủ Tiến.
Cũng nói với Thoại vậy phải không?
Đúng. Thì bị cáo mới nói với Tiến là khi nào tao làm gì thằng nhỏ mày bịt miệng nó.
Nghĩa là khi đến